Well, we saw that a couple times
Keep
too.
going.
But I don't want to. Again, it was one of those nights where it was just kind of.
There were some tempers.
There were some tempers, and there was a couple times security had to be called over to a couple pit areas to calm things down and get everybody right, and they did. They did. There we had one big wreck in the main event with Quentin Trichler, and I think it was it Ryan Nelson, the 19 car?
I don't remember. Can't
remember. Well,
you've
anyway,
got the photographic memory.
I think it was Ryan Nelson and Quentin Trichler. I know Quentin Trichler was there in the 24 car, but it was big impact on the front stretch wall. Both cars got up on the left side, and I thought both of them. Honestly, you guys, and I know Ed, I think you captured it on the drone. At one point when that first happened, I thought both those cars are going over on their lids.
Yeah.
It looked like they were going over. I know Dave panned around and caught. He didn't catch the initial impact, but he caught everything after that on the camera, and we'll review that and take a look at it. There's some people wanting to see it, so.
Well, Dave and I get a contest going up there. He goes, I didn't get that. I got it. I got it. I didn't get it. I was looking in a different way. Oh, I got it. I got it. You know?
We both look at each other and smile and say, "Yeah, you got it."
But
Awesome.
it's
If we don't get it, Nina does. It's just pretty strange how that works out.
Yeah. But, you can't watch the whole track.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if we could. But, I mean, I'm flying the drone, and I'm trying to give the fans what they want to see or what I think they want to see. That could be two different things.
sure.
But I always look for the action on the track, and I'll see, out of the corner of my eye, and not looking at the screen, but out of the corner of my eye, I see 3 or 4 cars together, and I go, that looks interesting. And I'll pan around to them, and sure enough, boy, they're beating
Something
and banging
happens.
on each
Yeah,
other
yeah.
and pushing and shoving.
So the thing I thought was interesting about the wreck, the point that I was getting to on that particular wreck, was they actually ended up being father and son-in-law.
Yeah.
And I'm going.
You got to hear what Corey said, though.
Well, you got to make light of situations, and I don't know what the whole deal is with that particular wreck. I don't think it was intentional. Some people were saying it was, and this and that. I don't, from what I saw, and I was watching it, I don't think it was intentional. It was hard racing where a car pushed up, made contact, and they both ended up into the wall. So once I learned from our scorekeepers, Don Martin and Kelly and the crew over there, that was actually father-in-law, son-in-law, I said, well, Thanksgiving's going to be a little different this year. I'm trying to make light of the situation and have fun with it. We got some laughs out of it and having fun. But, from what I saw, and I might be wrong, but I've seen a lot of racing. It just did not look like an intentional deal. There was a lot of people saying, oh, that was intentional. And I don't know what the whole mess was out in the pit area. I understand it was 2 different cars. That was a wild night down there in the Hornet Corner. We'll call it the Hornet Corner, the Hornet's Nest, where all the Hornets pit.
Yep.
I think Gary could probably share a cute little photograph.
Well, okay, so
here's
I don't know if we're going to share that photograph of Moxie. We might. We might.
It's a fun photograph.
Because here's the thing: you can put up a picture, and everybody's got their own interpretation of what is going on.
That's true.
Okay, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Thing.
Yeah.
So, I will tell you this. There was an officer that showed up at the racetrack, okay, to help assist in calming things down. Now, Gary being Gary
is right in the middle.
He's kind of watching what's going on, but let's just say Gary got a little creative, and when the officer pulled away to leave the racetrack, he actually had duct tape numbers on his door. That number was 911.
Yep. Now this was all done. This was all done in with permission of the sheriff.
Right,
Yeah.
and there was actually photos of the sheriff standing next to the car, and
they had a good time with it.
They did. So that tells you right there that things out there probably weren't as bad as everybody tried to make it. I mean, sometimes you just gotta get a little extra.
Hey, in the heat of competition, that's just.
It happens.
I've
seen
everywhere.
it happen in every division at every track we've ever been to.
Baseball, football, soccer.
It happens.
That officer wants to come back and drive on the track too.
Well,
I don't know if he wants to drive his
we
cop
can
car
use him
or
as
not.
we can use him as a pace car.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he mentioned about
did.
Yeah,
he'd
he
like
won-
to be the pace car
Yeah.
for something.
Maybe we can talk to Mike and get something like that set up.
There
It'd
you
be
go.
a good community relations. Yeah,
Yes.
PR.
absolutely. I thought it was, but going back to the Hornets, Dylan Sowers at 7S. This guy has set himself apart from the rest of the field. Now, there's some fast cars in there. Him and Tim Hedges had a fantastic race going. I mean, they did. The 14T, once Hedges cleared traffic and got up there to race with them, they had a great race going. But then Sowers just kind of got figured out and figured the place out, and he picked up his 3rd win of the year. This kid is watching him drive this car. It's a little bit different than everybody else on how he enters the corner and how his car reacts around the apex area and how it drives off. He is so fast through the corners, and that's where he's killing these guys. He's killing them on the entry, and then right at the midsection where you would rotate the car, his car just turns and blasts out of the corners. And there are, like we said earlier, there are some fast Hornets in that division. There are some fast Hornets at Southern Oregon Speedway. And Dylan Sowers right now is without offending anybody, the class of the field. 3 feature wins already this year. And I want to say 4 starts. Am I correct when I say that? 4 starts?
Yep.
3 out of 4. He is on point. He has got it figured out. And I think that unless somebody does something really drastic or Dylan Sowers has a run of bad luck, we might continue to see this winning streak, of this domination he's got going on. I mean, he is flying. I'll tell you somebody else who really impressed me last, and not that they haven't all year, but really started putting it together this last Saturday, was the 27J of Jenna Hedges.
Yes.
Did you see what she did in the heat race?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. She was in and out all and she was trading paint with everybody. She was right in there.
Well, she won.
Yep.
She won a heat, and or was it the dash? When she won the dash? I think she won the dash.
Yeah.
But regardless, there was 4 fast Hornets out there. She showed these guys, hey, listen, I'm here to run. and she was out there with her husband Tim. Tim was celebrating his birthday, and when you hold off those guys, and those are fast Hornets, she got them in the dash and got a win. I like seeing that. I like seeing the fact that, there's because, and I have been a critic. I've been a critic of talent, and I'm open about my feelings about, especially at the NASCAR levels. Okay, Danica did not impress me, and every time I said she didn't impress me, or she wrecked another car, it was, oh, you just don't like her because she's a girl. I don't care who's in a car that's top quality equipment and you're not winning championships or winning races and your average finish at 26th. That's not impressive when you should be running for a title. Talent shows when it's behind the seat. Jenna Hedges showed she's a talented race car driver.
Yes, she is.
She showed that she is not and this is the thing what impressed me about her. She's not intimidated. She's not intimidated. Like some, and I don't mean to sound this as derogatory, but there's a killer instinct that some people have as an athlete, as a person in life, business, whatever. When it comes to sport of racing, it's a dangerous sport. You don't see a lot of women drive as aggressive as Jenna did Saturday. I'm not out of line saying that, am I? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Not at all.
You understand what I'm trying to say, though?
Yeah.
She just said, you know what? There's a number on my door. It's not about who's in the seat. Let's get this done. And she went out and handled business.
Yeah.
I love seeing.
She drives smart, though.
She does.
She looks for openings. You can see her hold back a second. She sees an opening. I think she watches the guys in front of her, and she just waits for them to make a mistake.
She is smart in how she drives, and she's got this. If you watch her on the exit, the ability to carry her momentum. A lot of guys try to keep that car turned and protect that bottom line. She'll go up to that middle groove and carry the momentum. I've watched her do that several times, and she's impressive. I thought it was awesome to watch. I think it's great when you see a woman win in stock car racing.
She kind of reminded me of Bobby Hogue.
Yeah, she was saying, hey.
She was looking for that spot.
Well, she was. And then when she got it, said, you want this spot, you're going to go around me on the outside. Right. She protected that line just enough to where nobody was getting underneath her.
Nope.
And that's where everybody was trying to pass her. And it wasn't going to happen. But I think it's good for the sport. When a female driver wins, it's good for the diversity. It's a cool thing to see because those guys they're back there in the pit area scratching their head, going, "Man, she got us tonight." It's a good thing for the sport. when you see a talented driver, male or female, but when you see a talented female driver win, it's a good thing to see. I like watching that. It's cool. She did a great job of driving, and I think for the rest of the year, she's going to be a real deal and a contender in this thing, because if she can get on a run of good luck, she's right there in the hunt. She's top 5 in points. She's got a chance, like I get it. I think it's going to take a little bit of bad luck for Dylan Sowers, because his program right now is on point. It's going to take a little bit of bad luck for him and somebody to capitalize on that. And I think she's one of the drivers that at this point may be able to do it. If, and that's a big if right now, Dylan Sowers can, if he gets any bad luck, because he hasn't had much so far. I mean, he's just been wicked fast. The Jote Labs Hornets down there there's something. There's something to watch. Bobby O's Pizza mini stocks.
They're quick.
Well, and a lot of, have you guys had fans ask you the difference? Because it's not times. There's not a lot of tracks you go to that'll have Hornets, and then the next class out is mini stocks. Some people, a lot like the Sport Mods and Modifieds, can't tell the difference or don't know that even a different class is pulled on unless the announcer says something. Mini stocks are rear-wheel drive, and they got they run like a Mustang body and
Pinto.
Right, we had a Pinto in there,
Yep.
But you see a rear-wheel drive versus a front-wheel drive. A difference between like a Mustang and a Neon, but they're 4-cylinder race cars. The Bobby O's Pizza mini stocks. This is a group of guys that you don't know who's going to win when they pull on. Everybody is so close competitively. Any of those guys could win, and I thought at one point we were going to see a certain driver win when Ashton Hedges in the 54D pulled off his second feature of the year.
Yep. And he made it in a good style too.
Man, was that an awesome race. And then you got Dave Steele in the 67 slinging that thing around like he's in a late model. I mean, he's backing that thing in sideways, and he's
turning right to go left.
He is fun to watch. Yeah, he is fun to watch. And him and Hedges, this is the second time this year these guys,
It was a good battle.
Great racing. I mean, you don't, as a race fan, when you show up and you expect, the sprint cars are there and the late models and the modifieds, and you see a show like you do from the mini stocks at Southern Oregon with the progressive banking and the way that track is shaped. I mean, that is a perfect track for that class. I mean, I
don't think the fans are expecting that out of that class.
That's what I'm saying.
And they get first class racing.
They do from that. I think that class really surprises everybody. I mean, other than the fans that are there every week, they know what they're going to get with them.
Surprised me.
Well,
and I've seen them 2 or 3 times.
Right, and we've seen them 2, 3, 4 times this year, and I got excited watching this race. Ashton Hedges gets his second win in the 54D. I mean, this kid got his first win a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's up front. Dave Steele, who has been the guy in this division, is kind of sitting back over there when doing the interviews, kind of looking over him, the smile on his face, going, "All right, kid. All right, that's, I think we're gonna go hard for the rest of the year." And Dave, you talked to Ashton, and he gives a lot of credit to Dave Steele for helping him with setup, for helping him on everything on his program. Driving, doing this, doing that, setup, tires, everything. Dave Steele's been a big part of helping that kid develop. Those guys out there. Yes, you did, Mike. Mike Patterson says, "Did I just hear Corey say you get excited about Fort Banger racing?" Yes, you did.
Yep.
Those guys out there, the particular group, seem to be really close-knit. A lot of camaraderie in that division. And those are those guys that are jumping out of their cars to help each other. And that's what more can you ask for from any division at any track anywhere? That's what it's all about right there. And these guys are helping each other work on their cars to get them out there and racing. And it makes me wonder, though, how long Dave Steele is going to continue to do this, if this kid's going to be finishing ahead of him.
Well, he actually give Dave a lot of credit.
And he did.
During his interview and his final, in the winner's circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really neat of him, too, to give him the kudos that he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very, very humble kid.
Yep.
Very, as young as he is, he seemed like he's grown up. I mean, he's just he's a gentleman. He gave credit where credit was due and was wasn't cocky in his interview.